We're Foodscaping Utah, and in this video we're going to show you how to build a trellis for espalier fruit trees. So this is a mulberry tree that we planted last fall, and now it's mid-March and we're going to go ahead and build a trellis. The first thing that we need to do is put in some posts. So these are 4x4 redwood posts, and they're 8 feet long, and we're going to, with a post hole digger, dig down 30 inches so that 5.5 feet are up above the ground to build our framework. So we'll show you how that goes. So we about got the posts in, and I just want to do a couple of quick tips. Number one is, as you're digging and before you fill your material back in, you want to check the level on your posts. You want to check it both ways. Sometimes you might need to widen your hole a little bit to make sure you can get it level. This one looks really good. And then I like to just use the post to tamp it down. And on the bottom, what we're going to do is put just a little bit of gravel. We're going to throw that in the bottom of the hole after we already have it down. I actually dug it about 31 inches, and then we'll maybe put about an inch of gravel. That way the gravel should keep the moisture off the bottom of the post so that it lasts a little bit longer. And when you're putting posts in, a lot of people use concrete, and that works fine. We actually just like to backfill with the native soil, and then in that case it's really important that you tamp it in as you go. That's pretty good. We'll put some of the soil in, not too much, enough to hold it up a little. And then you could either use the butt of a shovel to tamp, or since I dug this time a really tight hole, I'm going to use this, but depending on how big your hole is, this shovel might work fine. So then I'm just going to tamp it all around, make sure it's good and secure, and then check the level a couple times until you build it up around, and then we'll have our posts in. Okay, so we got our posts in. We tamped them in really good while they were coming up, so we can tell they're really stout. We got them nice and level, and you can see here I put a line level on just to get a good idea of where we're starting when we put the wires. We're going to put 4 wires, and we're going to put them every 15 inches. So we're going to start here, go up 15 inches, 15 inches, 15 inches. Then we'll end up with 4 wires, and this is a little bit above 5 feet. And so by marking them, we know where our holes are, and we're not going to worry too much about making sure everyone's perfectly level. At least try not to worry. But we're going to go ahead and drill those holes right now, and we'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so we're going to take a look at 2 different ways to hang the wires for your trellis. Before we take a look at what we're doing in the backyard, let's look at this one, which we did a couple of years ago. Here, the way we put the wires up is with an eye hook. Each eye hook goes into the post, and then this is a turnbuckle, and then this is stainless steel wire. I think this one's a 14 gauge. You can use 14 or 12 gauge. And the turnbuckles make it nice because you can tighten it by turning these. So here we have an espalier apple that we did a couple of years ago, and it's coming along really well, and the turnbuckles work with that. And then what I'll do is I'll crop into the video some footage of how to put these up that we made for our grape trellis. So here's how we put the eye hooks on. I just like to drill a hole right kind of where you want to put it. And it's a smaller diameter than the eye hook. You still want these to have plenty to catch on. And then to get it started with my hand, and then you can just take a screwdriver and tighten it up. Okay, so we'll take our turnbuckle. We simply put it on here. You want to make sure that it's threaded all the way out before you put the wire on. You twist the wire on here, run it to the other end, twist the other wire, or the wire on the eye screw on that end, and then with the threads are all the way out, that allows you to tighten it by twisting. We're going to try a new wire system. This is a post-mounted kit. It's made by a company called Espalier, and it comes with anchors and end caps and a tension cap, and then what you use is a wire rope. So we're going to put the wire rope through all the holes first, and then we're going to attach it with the anchors, and we'll show you how to do that in a minute. The other tools that you need is to drill the holes. This is a 14 millimeter, or I believe it's a 35/64 inch. So we had to get one of those extra. And the other tool that we need is this. It's a pop riveter gun, or a riveter I guess it's called too. So we're gonna put the wires in and start attaching all the anchors, and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's almost done. All right, to get this wire in, we started here and put this anchor on one end, and then it's just basically that you weave the wire through your holes and around, and then through the hole down to the next line and back around, and then come to the end here, and I'll show you real quick. I am absolutely no expert at this. Like I said, this is our first time trying these wires, and the company that makes these sent it to us to try out. So I think it's going to work pretty cool, because you get these clips that you just put in here. So we can try to show you one of those real quick. So I've done quite a few of these and I'm getting better at it, but it's not super easy. But you kind of put this on like this, slide it in, and then I find that if you spin it a little bit, what you want is it to eventually kind of snap in as you hear the click, and then now it can slide freely. So then we'll stick that in there, and I just had, I think I had a little hammer, yeah. That holds that there, and then we'll take the other anchor on the end, and then we're going to slide the anchor through here, hopefully. I had to cut this wire so it's not perfectly tight anymore. Okay, so we got both anchors in, and I gotta say we had trouble getting one of them in. This one, what happened was we had a bunch of extra wire rope, and I cut all the extra off before I put the anchor on, and when I cut it, the wire rope became a little frayed at the end. So when I put the anchor on, some of the wire got caught in there. Anyway, we had to cut it off, got it all fixed now, but if you wanted to try these, one tip would be to either not cut the wire rope, just slide the anchor all the way up through, or get a specific tool for cutting wire rope. That's not something that we had. The way to get a clean cut in the end that I did do was wrap electrical tape around the wire rope to hold it tight when I cut it. And that seemed to work quite a bit better, so you could try that too. Long story short, you want to be able to get the anchor to slide on easily. We got that, and then now we're going to tighten it up. And I think this is the cool part with this design, is when you slide this riveter through. Let's see if we can get it through. There we go. You can just squeeze and it should pull the wire tight. This one real quick one more time. We just about got all the slack out. There we go. Okay, one more quick tip. When you're putting these plastic clips on, especially on the ends here, you want to watch which way they're lined up, because there's a little groove where you slide it on, and you can see this one, I wasn't paying attention to where the groove is, and the wire slid out off the plastic up against the wood and sticking into the wood a little. This one looks good here where the plastic is holding the wire off the wood. Okay, so we got it all in, and all in all, when you're comparing the espalier product and the turnbuckle system, they're both really pretty simple. The first time you do anything, it's a little bit tough. You got to kind of figure out things, but if you were going to do multiple of these and you had the tools to do it, it would be really easy. A couple things to consider on this is we did have to buy the pop rivet gun, and we didn't have the big drill bit, so that's an extra cost to factor in. But the turnbuckles are really expensive, so you can look at the price. Either one of them is going to be pretty simple to go in, and we really like the look of these. It's a really clean look. It looks nice. The wires and the posts, once it's all in, it really looks great. If you take a look at the turnbuckle system, it looks pretty cool too, but it's not quite as clean. But you can tighten them up pretty easy. This is a older espalier row. This is a peach, and we have in here pear and nectarine, more pear and an apple, and it's really worked well for us too. So either way, hopefully with this video you've got a bunch of tips on how you can build a trellis to grow espalier fruit trees. And if you want to learn more about how to espalier fruit trees, check out our other two YouTube videos. One is called 3 Ways to Espalier Fruit Trees, and then we also have one where we're building a Belgian fence. So check those out. Hopefully you got a good idea on how to build an espalier trellis, and thanks for watching Foodscaping Utah, and grow your own.